On the last episode, we looked at the Shining Sarcophagus package and how it's so good with the Gaze of Timaeus and how it makes Dark Magician so much better. But today we're going to be moving on to a different engine. But if you haven't checked out that video, I would highly recommend you do, because this video is kind of tied to the other one. Today's video will be focusing on a different engine. This engine is kind of sensational for any deck that uses a vanilla, though a lot of people aren't too keen on using it. We're going to be talking about, of course, the Primite engine. Things like Primite, Barrel, Lordly Load, Drill Beam, and Roar are just insane cards for Dark Magician. Whether you're playing it pure or whether you're happy to play engine slop, regardless, you should be playing a Primite engine. Blue Eyes is playing it, so why aren't you? The standard combo with the Primite package is normal summon Barrel. Barrel goes and gets Load. Load effect goes and gets Drill Beam. And Barrel is going to be able to link away after this for a multitude of different plays. First, you're going to use your Load and summon out Dark Magician from the deck. You're locked out of monster effects at this point of special summon monsters, which is fine, because you're going to be able to either link Dark Magician away into I'm Duck and then make the Heavenly Spheres to pass. If you do have another copy of a Primite card in the hand, this is the part where you will link Dark Magician away for I'm Duck and then link these two into Spheres, and this has been 4 summons, so your opponent will be crying in the club. On the opponent's turn, you should still be able to Drill Beam thanks to the fact that you have another Primite card in the hand, and you're also going to be able to Spheres, bounce, and just float into a Bestial. Floating into the Bestial Magnuma, which means on your next turn, or the end of this turn rather, you're going to be able to search out Druisworm or Ball Drake, or if your opponents hit your barrel with a Bestial yourself, or not a Bestial because the Earth, but you know, a hand trap to remove it from the grave or something similar, you can go search another copy of Barrel, so it's pretty good, damn good, right? Now, as I mentioned, there are different avenues you can go down, so let's explore a couple of them right now. For example, you can normal summon your Barrel and go for the effective Barrel, to which your opponent may meet you with a hand trap. This is one of the cases where opening Secrets of Dark Magic and a Dark Magician in the hand would be extremely beneficial. You'll be able to chain Secrets of Dark Magic, fusing the Barrel and the Dark Magician into your Dragoon, and this means the Barrel search still goes through, getting you Lordly Load, and then you can Lordly Load, getting yourself a Drill Beam, but because we've kind of already lost our vanilla, you might be thinking, oh well, the Drill Beam's useless, but we haven't used Load yet, so you can go Load and summon out the second Dark Magician that I'm pretty sure we're still going to be playing too moving forward of the vanilla, and then your board should be looking like this. So I don't know, don't sleep on Secrets yet. I know Gaze of Timaeus is here too, so we'll be looking at Gaze of Timaeus and how it interacts with the deck as well, because yes, it is insane. We haven't even gone through the probably coolest part of the new cards. So typically you want to normal summon Rod in Dark Magician, but in this build we're looking more at Souls for the simple reason of, well, Barrel's taking up that normal summon, right? It's just a better card. Barrel is a 1 card set up Drill Beam and Dark Magician on the field. So in other words, it's like Circle and Eternal Soul together. So that's something we want to use moving forward. Okay, let's look at some other applications for Barrel. We go Barrel, Barrel goes and gets Load. This part's normally the same. Now, let's do it the other way just to show. Sometimes you'll open Load and you just go Load, Load gets Barrel, normal Barrel, right? It doesn't really matter how you do it. Go get Drill Beam, put Drill Beam down on the field. Magician Souls sending Dark Magician or the girl to the grave does not really matter. Magician Souls send Drill Beam for 1 draw, red card representing a draw. Then you're able from here to do a bunch of different things. Naturally, you're going to want to reset the Drill Beam because you have Barrels, so make sure you reset the Drill Beam before you do anything else. Sometimes I forget and I link it away and then I'm crying. Link these two into SP Little Knight is a good play. So just simply SP Little Knight, because this has only been 1, 2, 3 summons, and now you can go Load to summon the other vanilla from your deck. That's 4 summons. So if you're worried about Nibiru, this is 4 summons. You've got your Drill Beam. You've got a random draw in the hand. This was a 2 card combo with Souls, but you did get a card back for it as well. So that's pretty huge, I reckon. Now, of course, alternately, there was a different path you could go for back here when you had the Barrel and you had the Souls. You can link away the Magician Souls, and you could send, instead of sending Dark Magician, you could send Dark Magician Girl. And this time when you link away Souls, you'll make the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Spirit with Eyes of Blue can go and get you the Mausoleum. Mausoleum will activate. Mausoleum will mill a vanilla. You've got both vanillas in the grave. You are locked into dragons. Boo-hoo. Link those two away, and you're going to be able to go into spheres. Bam, there's your spheres. This was also 1, 2, 3, 4 summons, but you'll notice you're missing the vanilla. So at this point, if you've got another card in your hand that's either the vanilla Dark Magician or a Primite card, you can just pass on this because Drill Beam's still live, right? So that's fine. But if you don't have Drill Beam live, you will have to play into Nibiru. So you'll go Lordly Load to summon the second Dark Magician vanilla from deck or wherever it is. Now the unfortunate part about this is now you're playing a Nibiru, but Heavenly Sphere says when tributed, summon a dragon, right? So if your opponent does hit you with the Nibiru here, it's not the end of the world because you will at least get a Bestial Magnamut on your field and you can go search another Bestial for the opponent's turn. So I don't think it's that bad because the other thing is you might be like, oh, Loza, I lost my Dark Magician. Now my Drill Beam's offline, right? These got tributed by Nibiru. My Drill Beam's now dead. I don't have my one interaction for my one card combo. Wrong, because you summoned Magnamut. Magnamut effect to search in the end phase. End phase search barrel. How silly is that? So I really like this engine, as you can tell. There's just a lot of flexibility in what you want to. We haven't even got to Raw yet, guys. We haven't even got to Raw. If you're this far in the video, you're probably like, Loza, when are you getting to the Raw stuff? We haven't even summoned Dark Magician of Destruction yet. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Thing is, because most of the time you'll summon the vanilla off the Lordly Load, you can go into this, but it has no effect. So I typically don't do it, as most people probably won't. But it's a thing you can do. But yes, let's try to finally get into the new cards in here, because we haven't really done anything with them yet. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, Lordly Load gets a Primite card. This can be Primite Raw. So because there's so many different Primite cards we're playing, it's worth it to open more than one. And what I mean by that is opening Raw with Beryl is really good because you know your Beryl's going to get Load and Load's going to get Drill Beam. If you open Beryl and Load, you know that Beryl sets and Load searches. So your opponent might be able to Imperm Veiler this and Ash this, but you know, if they don't have the corresponding hand trap here, you're going to be good to get both Drill Beam and Raw. And vice versa, if you open Drill Beam Beryl, you know you can go Beryl, get Load, Load, get Raw. Regardless, like, as long as you open 2, you have access to all 4 of the Primite cards, is what I'm trying to say. And you might be thinking, why do I want access to all of the Primite cards? Well, let me show you. So, you might be like, well, normal Beryl get Load because I already opened Raw, and then Load get Drill Beam, right? And that seems good. What we need to do from here is use the Beryl effect. She can mill herself to actually mill a vanilla to the grave, which is a fact not many people remember. So do that. Then you go Primite Raw paying 2,000 life points. This seems a bit rough, but you get to summon a vanilla, and you haven't used your Load effect yet, which is really important. You're going to get rid of the vanilla. Well, sorry, you need to banish the vanilla, and now you get to summon Dark Magician of Destruction, which of course means we're going to set up the Gaze combo. So go and get yourself off the search of this, the Gaze of Timaeus. We've already used our normal, so we won't get Rod, but we can just go get Gaze of Timaeus. And from here, we're absolutely chilling, right? On the opponent's turn, we're going to have all of this to interact with our opponent. Let me go through everything, because you also can go Lordly Load. Let's do that. Lordly Load, summon Dark Magician to pass. Let's do that, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 summons, and while this doesn't really do too much on field, it just lets Drill Beam be live. So now, on the opponent's turn, we will go something like this. The opponent will do something that we don't like. We'll go Drill Beam, say no. The opponent will normal summon. We'll go Banish Raw. A lot of people forget. Banish Raw. Target a vanilla you control or engrave. If it's got less attack than this, it's banished. Doesn't negate it, but it's banished. I think that's great. Get it, unless you're versing Malice. Just say, get out of here. From here, you're going to be able to flip up your Gaze of Timaeus. And it doesn't really matter what you shuffle back here. I would say it's better to shuffle back Dark Magician of Destruction, just because you normally want to have more copies of this in your extra deck, and you normally want the vanilla in rotation in Dark Magician. So shuffling this back seems kind of silly, but even if you did shuffle this back, Load can get it back next turn. So honestly, I wouldn't even care. Like, maybe there's an argument that you would shuffle back this DM. I don't know. Maybe someone in the comments work out what's better. We're just going to shuffle back the Dark Magician of Destruction here for Gaze of Timaeus, and that's going to, of course, give us Dragoon. And yeah, your opponent has had to deal with a Banish, a Negate and Banish, and now a Dragoon, Negate and Destroy. That's a lot of interruptions of 1 to 2 cards of a Primite engine.
Hi everyone, editing LOZA here, and I realized I never really showed off how to play Raw just by itself. I kind of just skipped over it because I figured everyone would know. I didn't really elaborate, but Raw is a 1-card combo into the new Dark Magician of Destruction, which is, you know, why it's pretty damn good. I think it's a great one-off to have in the list, and I did show off having it in your hand with barrel, but you should definitely not normal the barrel first like I did in that replay. You should probably just do this line first because your opponent will probably hand trap you here, right? The sad thing is Raw banishes the vanilla. Like, that is the most depressing stuff ever. Fortunately, we will go and get another one thanks to barrel, but yeah, it's just really sucky. But anyway, you can go and grab any DM spell trap you need. I'm going to be adding Gaze because obviously it's the best one. But this is the chance where if you've already opened Gaze, right, you can either get a second copy or you can just go and get some other stuff anyway. We're going to go get Lordly Load because, yeah, this is going to be like the full DM triangle. The Primite triangle, if you will. We'll go and get Drill Beam. And now we're just missing the vanilla. And of course, this can summon the vanilla for us, so... Yeehaw, there's the vanilla, and we're not done. We can still do some other cool stuff, so I think going into SP Little Knight's cool. Pardon me, I still think the better play is to just make... Oh no, I took the vanilla off my field. No, actually, this is dumb because you need the vanilla on your field, so don't do that. That was silly. Now my Drill Beam is dead. Alright, I've reset the board, so I guess just make a link to with these guys and leave your vanilla on the field. You've got a couple of different options, like you could cycle another vanilla with the Blue Eyes link. I like just doing SP Little Knight because this is like, hey guys, do what you want. IP Masquerade is probably the better target here, but for the purpose of making it simple, you're going to set down this, you're going to set down this. The imperms are just random cards in your hand. And I didn't really show this off, so I am going to play out this turn just to show you why this engine's really good. I didn't really mention I had to put it in as an edit last minute. But yeah, barrel comes back to your hand every standby phase. That's really important, and I totally haven't said that verbally in this video, so... pretty much a hate crime if I ended this video without doing that. You're going to see Raw's great use here. If you have a vanilla on field or grave and your opponent normal summons, banish Raw and target a vanilla, and then you just say no. You just banish their guy, right? So we're banishing Kozaki here. It's the end phase. We would go for Drill Beam. Obviously we can't Drill Beam anything because the opponent hasn't done anything, but we're just going to Drill Beam our own card to show you what else you would do. You'd wait for Drill Beam to resolve, and then as your last interruption before you use SP, you've still got the shuffling away. I would still just leave the vanilla and shuffle this, especially because you can like SP with this. Shuffle away into your Dragoon with Gaze of Timaeus, and yeah, now you got your Dragoon that's going to be really useful on your next turn. So you probably would have used SP as well, but you know, that's fine. We're going to add back Beryl, and this kind of starts the whole gameplay loop again. And the best thing about Beryl, she gets a spell. And why that's super important is this Dragoon's going to be banished in the end phase. So like we can obviously help use the Dragoon to push for game, like that's fine. Use Dragoon to push for game, that's absolutely... Reset your your Drill Beam, sorry. Another thing I didn't mention in the whole video of why this engine's so good. Drill Beam resets itself, and Beryl, normal summon, reset Drill Beam, searches a different card, and you add it from the graveyard, like during standby. Oh my god, this engine is so good. This engine is such a good consistency boost to the deck. And I think I just failed to mention a couple of those points because I'm kind of just like guessing most people know this stuff already. But in case you're a first time viewer, I thought I'd just slip this in because, yeah, this is kind of some crucial Primite engine stuff. But of course, I've now used a spell. So obviously you can go to battle phase and go PL, do all your damage. But don't forget that you're just going to start the loop again. So go get Dark Magician of Destruction and, you know, just start the loop again. Go and get Gaze. This is the loop, right? Every turn we're just going to go and get Gaze. We're going to set it, or you're going to use it to push for damage, right? Go to battle phase. We have a lot of cool guys here, so we can swing them in and then we can Gaze into another fusion monster, push for even more damage. So, yeah, I think this deck, like, Gaze is awesome. Primite's awesome. Together, they're kind of nutty. Anyway, that's all from Editing LOZA. Please enjoy the video.
I think that's awesome for a deck like Dark Magician, right? Dark Magician has a lot of trouble putting up negations, especially through hand traps, and I think this engine plays quite well into most hand traps, as Beryl can't be drolled. So Beryl's our best normal summon also, because you just can't droll her. You can't droll us on res, until we go to load at least, which is nice. It means the Primite engine always hits into its combo if you open Beryl, right? unless you get Ashed or Veiled or whatever, you know. But the point is, it plays around Droll. It's the one thing in DM that plays around Droll. Now, if you do open Load, that does not play around Droll, obviously, because it searches first. But there's nothing you can do about that if you open Load. But ultimately, I think this is one of the best engines Dark Magicians have ever seen. I felt foolish for not picking it up quicker. If you're a Dark Magician stan, please get this engine. This engine's insane for us. Some people might be like, it's not pure and I want to normal summon Rod. Well, guess what? The list will still be playing one Rod because there's hands where Illusion of Chaos can go get it. And there's actually hands where Dark Magician of Destruction goes and gets Rod because you haven't normaled yet. But honestly, Rod is a one-off and will be forever until they print a good DM spell for it to search that starts the deck's combos. That's just how it is. If you disagree, that's fine. That is the factual conclusion we've come to in the DM Discord, I believe. And I don't think many people would argue with that. Like, Rod just doesn't have a good search target. I think Rod's a good card. I do. It being able to recycle itself is awesome. It's just suffering from that there's no good spells in DM dilemma, which makes no sense because we're a spellcaster deck made to combat Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes meant to have all the strength. We're meant to have the tricks and spells and traps. Konami, we're at our spells and traps that are good. But anyway, you get what I mean, right? Like, Gaze is a pretty good spell that we've gotten, but it still needs another card to function. We effectively don't have, like, a load in Dark Magician that just fixes all our problems. Like, one card combo, do everything. We don't have that spell in Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Magician, rather. Why? It feels like if any deck should have a spell that gets the deck going, it's the spellcasting deck, right? But anyway, until that, this is probably the best engine as a normal summon for Dark Magician. Yeah, let me know what you think, because, man, I love Dark Magician, and I love cooking. As I mentioned, the previous video was all about the Shining Sark engine in the future of DM, and this video, of course, was all about Primite Raw, and how Primite is just such a good engine. Primite Raw is just one card Dark Magician of Destruction, so that's awesome. I still don't think you play more than one copy of it, but it is cool. And yeah, this engine is just sensational. If you're confused about ratios, it's pretty much just 3 barrel, 3 load, 1 raw, 1 drill beam, but you can go up on stuff like drill beam. And I do think you got to play stuff like at least 1 Magnamon and Druid Worm with this package, because it's just insane. But let me just get that on screen for anyone who's just wondering. This engine was expensive, but it just got a reprint, so I would say there's pretty much no excuse for a Dark Magician fan to not have this engine moving forward. But yeah, if you disagree with that, that's fine. But this is the LOZA music. LOZA music? The LOZA idea moving forward. Like, you gotta have this engine. I don't think I can stress that enough. So yeah, get this engine and play it, and you'll be like, wow, I wish Rod did all the stuff Beryl and Load can do, but it don't. But yeah, I think Raw, I was already playing Raw, but Raw now that Dark Magician of Destruction exists is like, you gotta have it. You gotta have it, guys. Please just do it. Gaze of Timaeus loses a bit of value here because we get locked out of Special Summon Monsters effects in a way, but you can always just use Load as a last resort. But yeah, it would be kind of insane if you could Load and summon a guy and then Gaze into something crazy. But I'm pretty sure we're only negated till the end of the opponent's turn, so even then, you could still go into Dragoon Pass. Activate the effects of special summon monsters on the field this turn. Yeah, so you could still go into Dragoon with the DM you summoned off Gaze, off Load, right? So summon DM with Load. If you open, you would only do this if you open 2 Gaze, because you just set Gaze use on your opponent's turn, right? But ideally, if you had 2 Gaze in your hand, you could go Gaze 1, summon Dragoon, set the other one, but you'd have to have milled a second Dark Magician, which you can with stuff like Beryl, right? It's just, man, everything in this engine just does what you want, right? Puts Dark Magician on the field or grave, is an interruption. Puts Dark Magician on the field or grave and gets Load, which can get Drill Beam or get Raw. Everything here just makes sense. Not to mention Souls has synergy with both of these cards. Souls being able to send Drill Beam and Raw and draw 2 or draw 1. Insane if you have multiple loads, send one for a draw, why not? It's just crazy, and then you can obviously link these two away for the Blue Eyes link, as I showed earlier. Go into Spheres. Or you can just go in SP Little Knight Pass. And of course, you got to play these guys because they work with the Spheres package so well, and they're just good for pushing the game and just good hand traps in general, right? So yeah, anyway, this is the Primite package for Dark Magician moving forward. I think you got to be playing it, guys. It's seriously nutty. If you haven't tried it, try it online. Let me know what you think before you purchase it. You should do that with any engine you want to try. play it online on a ladder, a ranked ladder, and then if you like it, commit to buying it. Because, you know, this is a card game that costs money at the end of the day, and I understand that is a factor in whether people will purchase an engine or not, and that's totally fair. The next video, last one was Shining Sock, this one was Primite. The next one will be Diabell. So make sure you like, comment, sub, stick around for that. Shout out to the DM Royals. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.